Right next to me is the most affordable hybrid SUV that you can buy. This is the 2026 Kia Sportage LX front-wheel drive, and this is the base model. Now, just because it's affordable, does that make it worth it? And should you go and spend your hard-earned money on this vehicle or not? In this video, I'll be taking you through the ins and the outs of doing a driving portion, and let's answer that question together. Is it worth it? Now, what are the trims and price ranges on the 2026 Kia Sportage Hybrid? Well, they start at $30,000 for the base trim, which I have right here, and go all the way up to $40,000 for the highest trim, the SX Prestige. I'll put up an exact picture of all the different trims and the price ranges so you can see exactly what it is. Now, the car I have today is the base model LX, which has front-wheel drive. You cannot get the base LX in all-wheel drive, but every other trim higher, if you want to upgrade to all-wheel drive, you can get that as well. So again, the car I will be reviewing today is the 2026 Sportage Hybrid LX front-wheel drive and comes out to be an MSRP of $30,290. That is base. That is the flat MSRP, the lowest this vehicle can get. Now, this does have two options of carpeted floor mats right here, which are shown and actually pretty nice, as well as wheel locks. And after dealer and destination fee, this vehicle comes out to be $31,940. Thank you to Executive Kia of Wallingford, Connecticut for allowing me to use this vehicle for the day. Their information will be linked down in the description below. Let's dive right into it and start off with the front. And the front of the Kia Sportage is very impressive for a base model vehicle. You have the Kia badge right front and center there. You have LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, and yes, LED turn signals all up in the front here. All LED, no halogen like other vehicles. In a base model, that's pretty impressive. And when you flash your turn signal and put your hazard lights on, this area will flash amber, like an amber, orangish, yellow color, and it makes it stand out pretty cool. Now, this does have automatic headlights as well, so automatic high beam headlights. So when you're in the dark time and you're driving like a road that has no lights there, and a vehicle cuts in front of you, the high beams will turn off. When that vehicle goes away, the high beams will turn back on. There is so much airflow up front here for that engine. Stick my hand in up top here, over here on the side. But I do gotta say, this part here is not airflow. So airflow right in the middle, but over on the side, this is just fake here. It makes it look cool, but I wish that part was airflow as well. And now coming down below, you have these little dots. Those are your front parking sensors. In a base model vehicle, this has front parking sensors. So when I drive up to you guys on the tripod, a cat, human, another car, those will beep at me and say, hey, stop, no, don't hit it, because this car doesn't want to hurt anything else or even itself. And you're probably thinking, what is this little plastic piece down there? Why is it just over odd on the side? Well, that's your adaptive cruise control electronics. So that's the radar for the adaptive cruise control. So you don't want to nick that when you're coming close to anything. These front parking sensors won't really allow you to do that anyways, but just be cautious that if you damage that, you might damage the adaptive cruise control. Under the hood, there is a lot going on in this car, and I'm going to try my best to explain it as easy as possible. There's 4 different parts, well, technically 5. So you have your engine, a turbo, 2 motors, and a battery. So there's a lot going on under here. It's a 1.6 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine on top of 2 motors and a battery. Now, what do the 2 motors do? Well, one helps power the front wheels to make the vehicle go forward, and the other motor acts as a generator to kickstart the engine from the auto start-stop. Now, combine all that together, and this vehicle produces a very healthy number of 232 horsepower and 271 foot-pounds of torque. That is incredible power numbers from a base model SUV in my eyes. And all that is going through a 6-speed automatic transmission, and that gets an average of 42 miles to the gallon. So you're spending less than most people to get a car, and you're saving more than most people that have their vehicles. And before I move on, I do want to talk about one more thing, and that is the battery size. This is a 1.49 kilowatt hour battery pack. It is very, very small. If you compare it to, let's say, the full electric vehicles like Teslas, those are in the range of 60 to 100 kilowatt hours. But again, you have an engine. You don't need a full massive battery like this. But this can run in full EV mode. Now, there is no switch inside the car to change it from on and off. It's just at very, very low speeds, like 5 miles an hour and below, it kicks on just the motor and the battery here and powers the front wheels. But if you go a little bit faster, let's say, 10, 15, 20 miles an hour, that's when it cuts on the engine and the motor at the same time with the battery, and uses both to propel you forward, so saves you money on fuel. But if you're going to highway speeds, let's say 60, 70, 80 miles an hour, it'll kick off the motor in the battery and just use the engine here because that gives you more power going at 60, 70, 80 miles an hour. But while that's going on, it's still using that engine to supply more energy back into the battery. So at all times, this vehicle is supplying more power back into the battery here. So you never have to worry about that battery fully draining itself because the car automatically will replenish the battery when you're going on the drive. The key fob of this vehicle is very nice. It's the same key fob that they have in the $30,000 version and the $40,000 version, but just more features on the higher trim. It's the nice soft plastic there. You have the Kia badge on both sides there. Hit lock, and it lights green, so you know you locked and or unlocked it, which is pretty cool. So lock, unlock, you got your panic button over here, and then you just have a remote start. So hold that, and the vehicle should hopefully remote start, and yes, it goes. Now, the only thing missing from this key fob is the remote trunk, because this car does not have an automatic trunk in the back. So if you want to open it up, you do have to manually come over here, lift it up. It does have hydraulics, so it does most of the way like for itself, but you still have to manually do that. On the roof of the base Sportage Hybrid, there is nothing. There's no roof rails, no sunroof, just absolutely nothing up here. Now on the side, you do have mirrors, but no blind spot monitoring built into them. There's something, I don't know why Kia does this. This has adaptive cruise control and lane keep assist, but it doesn't have blind spot monitoring over the mirrors. I feel like that should be standard in all US cars. You know how the backup camera is standard? This thing helps a lot. So I don't feel like it should be standard, but that's what it is. If you upgrade to the higher trims, you will get that. Now down here, these are 17-inch alloy rims with all-season weather tires. Black plastic cladding up here, gets dirty, easily wash it away. I do like the rims on this car. It is super futuristic, like a square and has openings there. It just stands out. Again, a base model vehicle having these really cool rims. Now walk up to the door here, hit this button with your keys in your pocket, and the door automatically unlocks. Now, what if I want to unlock it? We'll just hit it one more time, and now it unlocks. That is also on the passenger side door, but it is not on the rear doors. Open up the rear door and you're greeted to plastic. There is plastic everywhere in this rear door. Up top here, the middle, down below, even where you rest your arm. I wish they put some softer material here to rest your arm like other vehicles do. Again, at the $30,000 price point, you think they would do that. I've seen cars that are $25,000 that have some nice material here. But if you need something, just put a little piece of like foam or something to rest your arm. You could do it yourself, not a problem. You got a door handle right there, a little spot to put a drink, but that is not big. I'm actually gonna try this out right now. I have this vitamin water here. Let's see, does that fit? Kind of barely. So it's big enough for only like one water bottle, not a large McDonald's drink. So that won't fit there at all. And you do have a speaker grill here, but I do like this door handle design and this texture makes it stand out. Now, how are the rear seats in this vehicle? Well, it's all cloth, but look at it. It's kind of squishy, not bad. I thought this would be like hard, cloth. Not really bad at all. You got the two-tone there. Let's sit in it. Yeah, you sink in it. It's not bad at all. Not the most comfortable, but definitely not the least comfortable in my eyes. You got storage pockets on the backs of both front chairs there. The front seat is set to my driving position. I'm 5'8", not the tallest. So even if this was pushed back a little bit, you still would have good amount of room in the rear space here. Now, headroom-wise, it's actually pretty decent. I got 3 more inches. So a 6-foot tall person can probably just about fit in here. They might need to lean forward just a little bit, but they could be totally fine. And the coolest thing about these rear seats though, is a lever over on the side. You push this back and you could basically fully recline. I have not seen a vehicle where you can do this in this price range. It is super nice. Just take a complete nap in the back here. You do have a pull-down cup holder armrest. So you have 2 spots for cup holders there, which those will fit a large McDonald's drink. So you don't need to put it on this side. You can just put it right there and you have a nice squishy armrest. And you do have 2 AC vents, 2 USB Type-C ports down there to charge your phone. And how is the middle seat? Well, you do have a little hump in here, but it's really not the worst I've seen. If you want a man spread, you can do that totally fine. It will still fit 3 adults perfectly fine in my opinion. Headroom wise in the middle seat is kind of eh. Again, I'm 5'8", so maybe a 5'9" person is the most in here. That's really it. You cannot get a 6-foot tall person in the middle. Opening up the front door, you would expect this to be a little bit nicer than the rear door, and it's not really. It's all the same. The hard touch plastic where you rest your arm, up top, down below. The only thing that's really different is just bigger storage here, which is kind of nice. You have a spot for a drink and some extra snacks there. When in the rear, you only had 1 spot for a drink, no snacks. Speaker grill there. And you do have 4 window controls. The driver is 1 touch down, 1 touch up. The rest you have to hold. You have your mirror controls and your door handle. Both front seats are the same material as the rear seats. It's the nice squishy cloth, the two-tone there. It's a bucket seat up front that holds your booty into place and holds your back. Actually holds your back really nice. I was sitting on this earlier. The body sway of this car doesn't really get affected by you sitting up front with the seat. It's kind of nice. Now you do have manually operated seats. It is not power operated. So this is for the up and down. That's for the tilt. And the forward and back is right there. And same for the passenger. Now turn the vehicle on with a push to start and you are greeted to a spaceship-like cockpit here. You have a screen here, a screen there, this weird steering wheel, which is like flat at the bottom, flat at the top. It's like, you know, the Tesla yokes, but it's like, you know, where it's cut off in the top. This just has the top, but looks the exact same. The full digital gauge cluster can do quite a lot in this car. So you have your miles per hour over on the side, your RPMs gauge there, which is pretty cool because you're wondering what this weird thing over the side is. When you put your foot on the pedal there, that goes up as the RPMs go up. So same as the miles per hour. It's like a little game in your gauge cluster. It's kind of cool. Now down here is your fuel gauge. This is your gauge for your battery. So just like how the fuel gauge acts, it'll show if your battery is low or high. And in the center, this screen can be customized and changed. So right now it's your current trip. Scroll this tab down over on the side and you have your sense refueling, sense last reset. This is your idle mode, which will show if your battery is recharging or taking away from it. So let's see if I can hit it. Yep. So the engine starts up and it's showing, hey, we're regenning some of the battery. But now the engine cut off and it's not. So it's pretty cool to show. Now hit it one more time. This is some of your safety settings, which I'll get into in a little bit. One more press. Then you have your tire pressure there. And then your engine temperature. The wheel of this vehicle is super comfortable to hold in the hand and it is super futuristic. People getting in this car are gonna look like you're driving a spaceship because of how crazy this looks. Over on the right side is some of your media controls and the left side is your safety controls. So let's talk about the media controls first. The mode is a change from Sirius XM radio, AM FM radio, or Bluetooth right on the fly. This is your voice commands there. This little icon here is a favorites icon. So hold that down and you could set different favorites keys in this car. You know, on a keyboard, like a macro key, and you could set it to whatever you want, you could do that in your car. So you could have that button to be the home key, the hybrid app key, whatever you want. Phone projection, which is Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. So you can have a button, hit that, and it automatically goes to Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. As well as down here, your voice commands. This is to turn the radio up and down, and then to change the songs left and right. Before I move on to the safety settings, I want to talk about 2 things, and it's the paddle shifters on the back and this drive mode selector. So the paddle shifters, you would expect to change the gears manually. They don't, which is very odd. They change the regenerative braking of this vehicle. So put this vehicle into drive, and you go positive to go negative on the regen braking, and negative to go positive on the regen braking. Yes, it is very odd, but that's the way it is. So more regen braking is minus and less is plus. Again, it's very odd, but once you learn it, it's very easy to understand it. And down here is your drive mode selector. There's really only 2 drive modes. It's Eco, Sport, and then My Drive. You can go and customize your exact liking. So if you want a sporty engine, put a slower transmission, you can do that and customize exactly what you want. But you cannot do regen braking in sport mode. You can only do it in eco mode. Now, some of the safety settings include adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, but no blind spot monitoring. Again, this does not have blind spot monitoring over on the side, but what is weird, it has front and rear parking sensors that'll beep at you when you come close to other objects. And 2 more things about the safety settings. So on this gauge cluster here, you have a speed limit icon. That'll show what the speed limit is on the road. So let's say it's 25 miles an hour and you're going over, you're going 30. It's gonna start to alert you and say, hey, stop. You might wanna slow down because you might get a ticket. But if you don't want that whatsoever, you don't have to have that. And you don't have to have really any of these settings. So go back to there, hold OK on the settings, and it pulls up a whole settings menu on this touchscreen. And you can go and turn on or off basically all the safety settings in this car. So you see that speed limit icon over there. I just go hit off and that completely goes away. Same with everything else. So the parking safety, the parking distance warning, turn it off. The driving safety, forward safety, lane safety. If you're one of those people that doesn't like any safety settings, you don't like it beeping at you, you could go turn all of them off. The touchscreen is tablet size. It is 12.3 inches, has wireless Android Auto, wireless Apple CarPlay, super easy, responsive to use. Now you have your Sirius XM radio over there or your AM FM radio, whatever you select, that'll show you music over here. Then you have a hybrid app. And what that will do is show how much battery your hybrid system has and if it's replenishing it or taking it away, as well as some other helpful hints, how much miles per gallon using and how much electric motor kilowatts you're using on the battery. And what I like about this, oh, actually, let me go back into it real quick because it's going to show you. So the engine kicked on and it's replenishing some of the battery. So it's pretty cool to show you that right there. A lot of the apps can be moved around and customized in this screen. So if you want to get it exactly to your liking, you can do that. Phone app will have your phone controls, phone projection, which is Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, valet mode, vehicle diagnostics, and service maintenance are all hidden behind a paywall. You do have to sign up with your Kia service and pay a subscription to get access to those apps. And then if you go to setup, you can go to one of the coolest things in my opinion. And that is, let's say if I go to screen layout, or maybe it's in display, you can have a blue light filter on the screen. So I don't know if you know what a blue light filter is. That'll take out the blue light on the screen and make it more of an orange tint. It helps your eyes in the daytime or even the nighttime. It gives your eyes less strain. Now on my personal phone, I have this set to at 9 p.m. it'll turn on, and then at like 6 a.m. it turns off. Helps me go to sleep at night. And you could do that in the car. You could set a time limit when this thing goes on and goes off. So if you're driving at night all the time and you don't want stress on your eyes, you could turn on the blue light filter and have it set to a time. And there's one thing left with the touchscreen I do want to talk about, and that's the user profiles. So if you have a husband and wife that hop in this car all the time, you can have two different profiles. So you can go to change user, go to driver 1 and hit confirm. And what that will do is change all your customization, your home screen, change your radio station, change absolutely everything in the car to set to your profile. But now let's say I'm the husband and my wife gets in my car all the time, but I don't want her to access my profile. You can go to security and set a password. So you can type whatever password in and they cannot get into your profile. It's just like your smartphones where you have a password for your phone and they can't get into it. It's kind of funny how that's in a car. Below the touchscreen, there is a secondary touchscreen that has media controls. And if you hit this, it has AC controls. It's a 2-in-1 here. It's pretty cool. So let's go through your media controls first. So you have kind of physical, but yet digital buttons for the screen here. So you can go to search and it types up a search in the touchscreen. Go to home, go straight to home in the touchscreen. So you go left and right of the media, hit the media, that's your music there. And then there's a star icon. And it's another star icon like what's on the wheel. So this one you could set, customize different stuff than the wheel up here. So if I want this to be the home button, I can hit that and it goes immediately to home. And then customize whatever I want. As well as setup is your safety or your settings in this vehicle. So go and customize all your settings. It's very cool how it's right on the fly, as well as volume up and down in the radio station and push down for on and off of the power. Hit this button and you have climate controls. It changes to all your climate controls. So that's your fan speed up and down, your AC, hot, cold. It is dual zone climate controls in this vehicle, so the driver can set its own and the passenger can as well. Swipe this there and you have some secret storage. Put a phone there. This does not have a wireless charging pad. The higher trims do have that, but this doesn't. You have two USB Type-C ports to charge a phone. This is one thing I do want to talk about. There's all blank buttons here. On the higher trim, you do have heated and cooled seats, and then this is something else, maybe your heated steering wheel button, but this does not have it here. So it's just blank buttons in the base trim, which is kind of annoying, to be honest. You have two cup holders there, which are fidget spinners, because if you move it over in there, you can fit a large cup, then boom, and it flies back like a fidget spinner. This is your gear shifter, so you have drive to the left, middle for neutral, right for reverse, P to park. Down here is your parking sensors, you can turn on and off. That's for the backup camera there. Auto hold and then hill descent controls. And this armrest, I was resting my arm on this whole time. It's not the most comfortable, but it's definitely pretty squishy for the type of material. Lift it up and you have some secret storage here. So it goes deep, as well as a 12-volt outlet to charge a phone. The rear of the Sportage is just as nice as the front, and it might even be nicer because one simple touch, and that's the wiper blade. You don't see it, it's completely hidden, but it's still there. It's because it's tucked up underneath. So when you hit the little switch, the little dial, that will flip out and then go back in when you don't need it. I like how it's completely flush, gives it this very premium look that, again, I've seen cars that are $60, $80, $100,000 that don't have the wiper blade tucked in. Now, coming down to the headlights here, this vehicle has LED taillights and LED turn signals. Just like in the front, all LED, in the rear, it's all LED as well, keeping that whole vibe going through the whole vehicle. You have the Kia badge right front and center, Sportage badge over on this side, and then all the way over there, you have your HEV badge to show people this is an electric hybrid vehicle. That's what HEV stands for. And even down below, you have these little parking sensors, just like the front as well, that'll beep at you when you come close to objects in the road, another cat, a human, a car, tripod, anything, it'll beep, and it'll also automatically brake if you get too close to that object. So you don't have to be worried about hitting anything, it's automatically gonna brake you. Now you're probably wondering what this little piece is right here. That's a backup light. You know, on like the big dump trucks, like the massive excavator things, they have the backup lights that make noise and it backs up. Well, that is a backup light that'll shine when this vehicle is reversing. Now, this is my favorite part of all my videos because I get to see if I can fit in the trunk. Most reviewers will just be like, okay, it's this size and move on with their day. I like to see if it can fit me, a 5'8" mat in the back here. And I'm pretty sure this can, because I could just lay down in here, flip the camera over, a full length this way, and 2 whole 5'8" mats can fit in the back. Like, there is so much space in this rear trunk that you could fit your whole Costco trip and probably a human. I don't recommend you putting a human in the back, but you could. You also have a 12-volt outlet port to charge phones if you want to in the back here. And if you even want more storage and there's no one in the rear seats, just pull the simple lever, boom, that flies back, and do it on this side, and those both fly back. Now you do have to come over here and push it down more. I kind of don't like that. I wish it went flat on its own, but you do have to push it to just make it flat. And now that it's flat, you could probably put a whole Christmas tree in here if you wanted to. Now, underneath the trunk here, you got a positive and negative in my eyes, because you do not have a spare tire. You have a fix-a-flat kit. The tire mobility kit, it comes with that little air suppressor kit and the goop to fill up the tires, so no spare kit. You can buy it, I guess, for this and put a compact spare tire in here if you want to. Take out this little piece and put it in there. But this makes it have secret storage on this side, that side, and even, I don't know if I can lift this up. I might have to take this out, but if you look there, you do have deep secret storage. So if you want to throw items in there and no one to know about it, just put it there, shut it, and it's secret. Now, taking out the 2026 Kia Sportage LX hybrid front-wheel drive out on the road, how does this vehicle feel? It feels really nice, to be totally honest. It's smooth. There's a little bit of road noise, but not a lot in this vehicle. Definitely if you kind of blast the AC or heat and have the music going, you're really not going to hear that whatsoever. Again, this is not a $100,000 luxury car, so you do expect sub-road noise, but not a lot at all. The steering feel, well, I'm coming up to a stoplight here, but the steering feel is incredible. You turn it left and right, and you do have a little bit of body roll in this vehicle, but you have to really sway it left and right to get that body roll. Like, let me do it right now. Like, I'm just doing it lightly. And now when I'm doing it crazy, yeah, I'm going left and right. But the body roll, not bad. If you're just doing normal turns, you're not gonna be taking this car race car driving, so that's not really a problem. 0 to 60 time is in the 7 to 8 second range, so let me pop it in sport mode. Step on it, you get kicked back. I mean, it's not, you know, some super fast 3 second 0 to 60 Tesla, but it's not bad for a family SUV whatsoever. This is very nice. Now, how does the regen braking feel? So I'm gonna throw this on level 3 and just completely take my foot off the gas pedal right here. And it is really slowing me down. I'm down to, okay, unsafe levels with people behind me on the road. But that brought me from 40 miles an hour to, oh, you guys are gonna go flying on that tripod there. 40 miles an hour to 20 within the span of what, only a few seconds, just taking my foot off the gas there. So level 3 regen braking really works. And then if you want to go down to level 1, you just let it off and it slowly slows you down, like 1 mile an hour a second, basically. That's what it was doing. And then you just don't have to have it at all and just use the brake pedal normally. The more regen braking, the more that battery is going to, get more energy in it, and you're going to get better miles per gallon. Now I'm hitting a pothole right here and you feel it, but it's nothing crazy. This car is really not bad with potholes. It is just a chill vehicle. It's a nice drive. It doesn't feel super expensive, but it doesn't feel cheap at the same time. And this car does a very good job with that. The interior feel is nice and kind of luxurious feel. The outside, it looks good. Overall, I think Kia did a very good job for being the most affordable hybrid vehicle, non-plug-in hybrid vehicle that you can buy. It's incredible. 42 miles to the gallon, 0 to 60 in the 7 to 8 second range. You can fit a whole family. You have a good amount of trunk space, and it just is a fun overall drive. There's really nothing to worry about in this car. It's just a blast. The seat comfortability is nice. The ride height is good. Everything is just enjoyable. It's not going to really blow your socks off driving this car. It's not, again, a race car. But it definitely is good for what you pay for it. For that $30,000 price range, the safety settings, the driving features, 42 miles to the gallon, I could just keep repeating myself. It's an impressive vehicle. Now I leave the question to you guys. What do you think about this vehicle? Do you like it or do you absolutely hate it? Be totally honest, let me know what you think in the comments below. And please remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to keep updated with more content. And a huge thank you to Executive Kia of Wallingford, Connecticut for allowing me to use this vehicle for the day. Their information will be linked down in the description below.